Hello dear students, I am Dr. Shikha Pandey, Associate Professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So in this lecture series of this subject, Solid Waste Management, today we will discuss about the industrial waste, agriculture waste and domestic waste, the characteristics and features and the nature of these waste. So first of all, we'll start with the agriculture waste. Waste that is generated by the agriculture activity, any farming activity is called as agriculture waste. So India is a very largest contributors of any resource sector to the economy, because agriculture is the very largest uh, thing in the India. So it is also a large generator of waste material, because India is mainly agriculture based country. That's why the waste is also more. So due to this, it's a total dependency on agriculture. The waste producing by the agriculture activity is also too much. So it is also, we can say that agriculture is also called as farming, which is the cultivation of animal, plants, fungi and other life form of food, fiber, biofuel, drugs and other products used to sustain and enhance the human life. So totally we are dependent on agriculture for everything, food, fodder, crop, everything. That's why India is a largest contributor of any resources sector to the economy, and this agriculture is playing a very important role in the country economy. So if more agriculture, more things are there, then automatically more waste will be generated. So we'll talk about today about the agriculture waste. And waste is we cannot define the waste proper, we cannot define, because waste doesn't mean that everything is waste. Because when we are talking about waste from energy, so what then that thing is not waste. So to define itself, the waste is having a very confused definition, because nothing will be waste. Because when we are talking about recycling of waste, when we are talking about reuse of waste, then that word, that is not the waste. When we are talking about energy from waste, then how can we say that this is a waste? So the waste itself is a very confusing word, and we cannot define, we cannot say anything as a waste. So in this also, this is a agriculture based country. India is a agriculture based country, and the waste generation in India is very high because of more agriculture activities going. We are totally dependent on the food, for food and crop, for anything on the agriculture activity. So the farming is which will involve the cultivation of animals, plants, fungi and all other life forms of like food, fiber, biofuel, drugs and all the products that will be used to sustain and enhance the human life is called as agriculture. So farming is like farming will involve the cultivation of everything, like a cultivation of animal, plants, fungi, all life form, for their food, for biofuel activity, for biofuel production, for fiber production, or for drugs, for all activity. So these are all product which are used to sustain and enhance the human life, and human life for the enhancement, for the sustainability of human life. This agriculture is very much important. So if more agriculture, automatically more waste is there. So now comes to the next thing, what is the nature of this agriculture waste. First, why we are talking about this agriculture waste, nature of the agriculture waste. So the characteristics, feature and the nature of this agriculture waste. So it is mainly composed of organic waste, like animal excreta is there in the form of slurries, and farmyard manure is there, spent mushroom compost is there, soil, water and silage effluent. So basically the term that is coming with this nature is that it is organic in nature. So because all waste that will be producing by this agriculture activity is organic in nature, and it will divide it in a different category. First one is the natural waste. Natural waste will come, then animal waste and then plant waste. So what will be the natural waste? Natural waste like field waste, weed, straw, that will be the residue after a crop generation. So that residue is coming under the category of natural waste. This will be the residue that will be generated after the cropping, after the cultivation of any crop. The residue is called as natural waste. Next is the animal waste, like animal dung and dead bodies. So these are the animal waste that is generated by this agriculture activity, we can say. Next is the plant waste, like sugarcane, molasses, vegetable peels. So all these waste are organic in nature, and we'll discuss in the coming slides, like this agriculture waste is not the waste. Because of that, they are organic in nature, and because of this organic nature, we can convert it into the manure, we can convert it into the biogas plant, we can generate electricity from all these wastes. So this will be not a waste, it is a kind of resource. And this will be the conversion. This agriculture waste is a very important thing because it is in organic in nature. So by the production of anaerobic digestion, or by composting activity, by all activity, all these kind of waste can be converted into a useful product. Like natural waste, we can convert into the for biogas plant. Animal waste, animal dung is also important. Animal dung is used as firewood sometimes in the biogas plants. Like this plant waste, that is sugarcane, molasses, vegetable peels, all are by the process of fermentation or by the anaerobic digestion, all can be converted into a very useful resource. Fermentation process or by anaerobic digestion. So this waste can be converted into a resource. And how to do management of this agriculture waste? Because if waste is not properly handled, they can pollute surface and groundwater, and that will be going to contribute toward the air pollution. Because surface water pollution, groundwater pollution contributes toward the water pollution, air pollution, everything. And the proper management of waste from agriculture activities can contribute in a significant way to farm operation, because the proper management should be important to convert all these waste into the resources, or to take benefits from all these resources. So the proper management is very much important. So proper management of waste from agriculture activity, it will be contributes towards the significant way of to farm operation. And waste management helps in the maintain a healthy environment for animals, and it can reduce the need for commercial fertilizers while providing other nutrients needed for crop production. That's why this waste management is of agriculture waste management is much important, because it will helps in to maintain a healthy environment for the animals, and it will reduce the needs of commercial fertilizer. Because if we will use this as for to produce manures, so this manure will be in organic in nature, and this chemical based pesticides is no more important. Because of this waste is having a very high potential, because you can use it in the agriculture activity again, because it will be converted into organic manure. So it will provide other nutrients needed for the crop production. So for crop production, you can utilize all these waste into the agriculture activity again. This is about the management of waste, and it helps to maintain a healthy environment for farm animals, and it will be going to reduce the needs for commercial fertilizer. Obviously, will the need and the dependency of commercial fertilizer, or we can say on pesticides, is be reduced. And if it will be reduced, it will be very much helpful for the next generation. It will be then this kind of agriculture is we can say that like a sustainable agriculture, because the agriculture activity will not produce any kind of negative impact on the environment, or this pesticides is very much harmful. And if these pesticides will enter in the food chain, then it will be going to be from one trophic level to another trophic level, as we have already discussed the case of DDT. Because this DDT is there, and many chemical are there in this pesticides, and it will be going to enter into the food chain. So this agriculture waste management will helps to maintain a good environment and healthy environment in the farming, and it is going to reduce the needs for commercial fertilizers, and this will provide the nutrients needs for the crop production. The waste which is reduced, recycle, and make it usable for the different purpose is waste management. That's why this waste management is important, because this waste is going to be reduced and recycled, and it will be making it usable for the different purposes in the waste management section. So that this agriculture waste management is very much important. So what are the processes that will involve in the management of agriculture waste? So first of all, the thing is that in the whole management process, agriculture waste management process, first will involve agriculture waste management process. treatment process. The first thing is involved is the source, then generation, collection, transportation, treatment process, and disposal. So the first is the management process. First is the source. From we have to identify the source. Then it's a generation, how much amount the waste is generated. Then it's a collection and segregation at a proper place, because the waste management section will start from the collection process, because collection and segregation is a very important part of this waste management, because if we will not collect or segregate it in a proper way, then the treatment process or disposal process cannot be achieved. So first thing which have to keep in mind is that it's a collection and segregation. Then it's a transportation, collection and segregation. Collection and segregation. Because segregation is too much important. We have to segregate the waste that is collected from any place. So India is the one of richest country in agriculture resources. Presently in India, annually 350 metric tons of organic waste are generated. So presently 350 metric tons of organic waste are generated from the agriculture activity, and it is the very richest country in the agriculture resources. So the major quantity of solid waste that is generated from agriculture resources are sugarcane bagasse, paddy and wheat straw, husk, waste of vegetable, food products, tea, oil production, jute fiber, groundnut oil, groundnut cell, wooden mill waste, coconut husk, cotton stalk. So these are the examples of agriculture waste that has been produced in a very largest quantity in India. So sugarcane bagasse is there, paddy, wheat straw, husk is there, some vegetable waste, food products, tea is there, oil production, jute fiber, groundnut cells, wooden mill waste, coconut husk, cotton stalk. So nowadays all these agriculture waste is a very important waste, because we can directly convert it into the energy, because it has the capacity of, it is organic in nature, and organic waste can be used in the biogas plant, or it can be used in the anaerobic digestion. So this agriculture waste is a very important waste, and all this waste we cannot say it is a waste. We can say these are the resources, because we can convert it into the very useful resources, like for the electricity generation, for manures we can make, for a small biogas plant we can make. So that's why this management of agriculture waste is very much important, because these agriculture waste having a great and enormous source of electricity generation. If we'll do more R&D on the management of this agriculture waste, we can convert it into the many useful resources, because it is having a great future of this electricity generation. So, and all these are very important resources, so that this management of agriculture waste is very much important. Now we are going to discuss about how this collection and transportation of agriculture waste is happening, because the collection, segregation and transportation part is very much important for a proper waste management processes. So the collection, segregation and transportation is a very important part for the agriculture waste management. So what we'll do, waste like fruit and vegetable are collected from house is called as domestic waste, and waste collected from road, street or roadside. So these are the domestic waste. First of all, we'll collect the fruits and vegetable waste, and collected waste like dry refuse and green waste, animal dung from the agriculture field. These are the collection method of the agriculture waste. So the waste collected, like some dry refuse is there and some green waste is there, animal dung is there. So these are the waste from agriculture field. So first of all, we'll do collection and segregation of all those waste, like food waste to one place, and then road street waste collected from road street, or it will be collected like a dry refuse or animal dung is there. So first of all, we'll do the segregation. Then next step is the transportation process. So waste that is collected from the side of road or agriculture field are all transported to disposal site for further treatment by trucks, trailer or cart. So this is what today's municipality is doing. They are mixing all the waste. if a person will segregate the waste and they will give the waste by segregating it, but what that municipal people will do, they will mix all the waste. So that will be not a proper waste management practice, because proper waste management practice, first it will need the proper segregation, and that proper segregation should be up to the treatment site also. So that all waste collected from the different area, first we'll transport it into the by the trucks, by trailer or car, to its disposal site, and different type of then we'll go for the further treatment, and the waste which is not used is directly disposed to the sanitary land. Obviously those waste, some whatever treatment method is there for that particular waste, will treat it at their place, and those waste, the treatment is not possible, will dispose it into the sanitary landfill. And waste are not burned in open air, so it is then transported to incineration also. So those waste which cannot be used in either of any unit, like it cannot be composted, it cannot be used in anaerobic digestion, so we'll do incineration of that waste into outskirt of city, and some waste should be landfill in the outskirt of city. So these are the proper waste management practices. We cannot burn waste in the open air, because it will produce dioxin, it will produce many harmful gases, it will pollute the air. Air pollution is caused by this. So this will be a perfect waste management practices. It should be adopted, and it will be adopted in the municipality area, and this is with the perfect, because management is very much important. If we'll not manage it properly, then automatically this air pollution is there, water pollution is there, all pollution is there. Because today's world, it is too much agriculture waste is there, like with food waste, agriculture waste too much, and these waste are very much useful waste. That's why its proper segregation is very much important, and its disposal to a particular place is also very important. Now, what will be the treatment processes of this agriculture waste? Which treatment processes we are adopting for this agriculture waste? So various processes are there. So first of all, when dealing with agriculture waste, we must follow the health and safety regulation. Health and safety regulation is very much important, because we are dealing with agriculture waste. And next is that we should provide written instruction for storing and disposing of each type of waste that is we are producing. So instruction is very much important for its proper treatment, and we must dispose waste if we determine that we cannot use prevention, preparation of reuse, recycling, or any other recovery method. And next point is that composting, recycling, and incineration are the common method adopted for agriculture waste treatment. So this is about the treatment processes of agriculture waste. First of all, various methods would be performed, and the main method are the composting, recycling, and incineration are mainly the general method that is adopted for the agriculture waste treatment. We must dispose of waste if we have determined that we cannot use for prevention, preparation for reuse, and recycling, or any other recovery method. We should provide written instruction for storing and disposing of each type of waste we are producing. And when dealing with the agriculture waste, we must follow the health and safety regulation of all this waste. Now comes to the next point. What is this composting? Composting is again one method for the agriculture waste disposal. Agriculture waste disposal. Composting is a method in which organic matter present in the agriculture waste is decomposed by aerobically or anaerobically through a biochemical processes and converted into the humus. Humus is a very great resource. It is a manure. Humus is a very much important for the soil fertility. If we'll add this humus in our agriculture field, automatically the fertility will be very high. So composting is a method in which organic matter, because all agriculture waste are organic in nature, so we'll collect all organic waste at a place, and then this will be going in through the decomposition process, that is aerobically or anaerobically, through a biochemical process is there, and by this biochemical processes, this organic material from waste has been converted into the humus, and this humus is a very good thing. It is a kind of manure that will be added to the soil to increasing its fertility. And this composting steps is divided into three operations. First of all, preparation of agriculture waste. Agriculture waste is prepared. It should be prepared for entering for the decomposition into that composting tank. Next is the decomposition is there. Decomposition step is there inside that tank. Like aerobic bacteria or anaerobic bacteria, they are going to degrade the organic matters into that waste, and then product preparation, and then preparation of the product, like collection of the manure, collection of this manure or humus, and marketing it. Marketing is there. So we cannot say this agriculture waste is a waste. It is a resource. It is a conversion of waste into a resource. Conversion of waste into a resource, and it will be help in the commercial, and marketing is there. Marketing is there because nowadays people are much aware about these pesticides and chemicals that is present in the pesticides. So they are now going to use, they are more focusing toward this organic agriculture or organic manure. So that's the marketing is also good, and will get money by this agriculture waste. So this agriculture waste is not a waste, it is a useful resources. If we'll utilize, if we will use it in a proper manner, we'll get benefit from this agriculture waste. Next is the decomposition. How this decomposition is doing inside this agriculture waste, inside this box. So first of all, decomposition will happen by three type of system is there. First is the NADEP method of composting. This composting is also very much practicing in India. Next is the vermiculture decomposition. In vermiculture, we'll add some worm. Earthworm is there. This earthworm is going to decompose the organic waste, and their activity is very fast. So that's why in vermiculture we'll add some earthworms to that decomposition tank. Next is the anaerobically decomposition, and next what we are doing for this is the landfill. Landfill is there, landfill site is there. So those waste we cannot decompose. So we'll go landfill method for all those waste. So landfill site is a rubbish or dump or dumping ground, is a site for the disposal of waste material by the burial method. And it is a very most common method that is, I think, adopted in every city and every outskirt of every city. This landfill is there. And some landfill are also used for waste management purposes like sorting, treatment and recycling. So from this landfill, they will do the sorting also. They are doing like segregation of wastes, and recycling and treatment of waste is also there. That's why this landfill is there, and landfill is again an option for the decomposition of agriculture waste. How this agriculture waste would be decomposed? So we have already discussed three method is there, that is NADEP method. Next is a vermiculture decomposition and anaerobic decomposition. And next point is a landfill. Landfill is a landfill site, is a site for the generation of waste material by the burial, and it is the most common method that is adopted in every city of India. And this landfill is present in the outskirt of all the city. And this from this landfill waste management process is also done by some municipal activity, like they will do the sorting, treatment and recycling of agriculture waste. Next, we'll discuss about the natures and characteristics features of the industrial waste. Industrial waste is arrived from any industrial activity like chemical industries, like any metal and mineral processing industries. Radioactive waste are generated by nuclear power plant. Thermal power plant produces fly ash in largest quantity. These are all industrial waste. Some chemical industries is there. So this industry is producing large quantity of hazardous and non-toxic material. Some other industries like industry that are doing the packaging work, that are rubbish industry, organic waste industry, acid, alkali, scrap metal, rubber, plastic, paper, glass, wood, oil, paints and dyes. All these industry are producing some waste. So these are called as chemical waste, and this chemical waste is very much dangerous. First of all, radioactive nuclear power plant will produce radioactive waste. Thermal power plant is producing fly ash. Metal and mineral industry processing some metallic wastewater is there. Some chemical wastewater is there. Chemical industries like tanning industry, like all these industries, some wastewater is there. And next is the other industry, that is that is by the producing packing material like rubbish, organic waste, acid, alkali. So these are all are the industrial waste, and industrial waste is again a very much dangerous waste. And this the processing and the utilization of industrial waste into some area or for the production of a new thing by this industrial waste is very important, so that the radioactive waste will be produced by the nuclear power plant. Thermal power plant is producing fly ash. Fly ash is also again very much dangerous, and as well as some useful properties is also there. Fly ash is today, fly ash we can say a very great reason of concern, because this fly ash is producing too much solid waste, because fly ash is, we are totally dependent on electricity for the electricity generation for thermal power plant, and they are producing by the burning of coal. This fly ash is producing in too much amount. So these are all are the industrial waste. Now comes to the what type of we can divide that industrial waste into two types. First one is the biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Those industrial waste which can be decomposed into a non-poisonous matter by the action of certain microorganism is called as biodegradable waste, and these kind of waste are generated from food processing industry, dairy waste, textile industry, slaughterhouse, etc. So its example is the paper, leather, wool, animal bones, wheat, etc. These are the biodegradable industrial wastes. And non-biodegradable industrial waste are those waste which cannot be decomposed into non-poisonous substance. We cannot degrade its quality. They are called as non-biodegradable waste. They are generated by iron and steel plant, fertilizer industries, chemical, drugs and dyes industry. And its example are fly ash, synthetic fiber, gypsum, silver foil, glass object, radioactive waste, etc. These are the non-biodegradable silver industrial waste. So we have to think about something, what to do, what its processing should be done, so that we can utilize this agriculture waste into different sectors. So it will be reduced, its a toxicness or the poisons, the harmfulness of this waste has been reduced. So these are the some industrial waste is of two type, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Comes to the next point is a health risk that is associated with the poor industrial waste disposal. So what will happen sometimes when it will come in contact with the skin, so the chemicals that are present is going to cause dermatitis, that will usually do through direct contact with the skin. Some chemicals like corrosive acid can damage the skin by single contact, while other like organic solvent may cause damage by repeated exposure. So these are the harmful effect, that is a health risk that is associated with the improper management or improper handling of this industrial waste. If it will come in the skin contact, it will causes dermatitis. Next is the inhalation process. Inhalation is the most common source of workplace exposure to chemicals and the most difficult to control. So the air pollutant can directly damage the respiratory tract or gets absorbed through lungs and causes systematic effects. So this is inhalation. By the process of inhalation, this is again going to infect a person that is present in the workplace, and that he is going to expose to the chemicals. Next is the ingestion. Ingestion, what will happen in ingestion? Groundwater and subsoil water contamination from leachates, from refuse dumps and poorly managed landfill sites can result in ingestion of toxic chemicals. So ingestion is also very much dangerous. This is all about the industrial waste, that the health risk that is associated with the poor industrial waste disposal. Now comes to the next type of waste, that is domestic waste or urban waste. So domestic waste is one of the most important component of MSW, municipal solid waste, and these will contains all the waste that is generated from a residential activity. So from a household. So its example is the food waste, paper waste, glass waste, metals, plastic, textile, etc. A large part of domestic waste consists of plants and animals waste like vegetable waste, fruit peel, bones and meat waste, and chicken and fish waste, which are considered as wet waste. This domestic waste will having some dry waste or some wet waste. Dry waste is like paper waste, glass, metal is the dry waste, and wet waste is the fruit peel, bone, meat waste, chicken fish waste. All these are the wet waste. Next is the papers and cardboard waste, newspaper, books, notebooks, and wrapping papers also make up another large portion of the waste. Plastics, disposable dishes, toys, metals, glass can be a part of a domestic waste. So these are the domestic waste or urban waste that is generated from a household activity. So we have to think about its nature. So this disposal domestic waste is mainly organic waste is also there, some paper waste is also there, some plastic waste is also there. So we have to think about it's a proper management of this agriculture waste. So this municipal solid waste, this urban waste, we can do 4R method for the waste reduction. In this 4R is there, 4 R's is there. This 4R is the reduction is there, reuse is there, then recovery, and then recycling. So these are the 4 method we can use for the proper management of this domestic waste. So first of all, we'll do reduction at the source. Reduction at its source where it is utilizing. So from this, by reducing, consumers and industry can save natural resources and reduce waste management cost. Reuse is like large production companies such as electronic appliances, gadgets should be established the collection center where damaged items can be repaired and refused. Next is the recovery, energy recovery, or material can be recovered from waste that are not reused or recycled. Next is the recycling of this domestic waste. So this recycling turns material that would otherwise become waste into a valuable resource. So these are the 4R method for the waste reduction or waste management. Now next is the health risk that is associated with this domestic waste, because health risk is a very important part to discuss, because what will happen, the rat is there, cockroaches and pigeons are there, and they have a great risk of transmission of disease like leptospirosis. Lack of ventilation in the recycling centers causing disease vector proliferation, causing respiratory and pulmonary diseases also for the worker that are working in the waste recycling sites. Littering and discarded household waste, particularly like plastic and containers with hazardous contents, affecting animals and environmental health. Sharp metal piece or broken glass, example from like a light tube or bottles, it will be mixed with household waste and can originate cuts also. So these are the basic health risk that is associated with the domestic waste. Now, thank you for today's lecture, and this lecture, I can conclude that I have discussed about the characteristics and features of the agriculture waste, industrial waste, and domestic waste. So these are the waste, and we can convert this waste into a useful raw material. We can utilize this waste for a resource production also. So please watch this video, and if you have any confusion, if you have any question regarding this topic or this lecture, you can mail me at my email ID shikha.pandy@gmail.com, or you can comment also for your question, whatever confusion you have. Thank you for today's lecture.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.